I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Since this launches at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, I hope you're watching me after a very fruitful early morning Black Friday run where you got some tremendous holiday presents or things for yourself. I hope it's been an enjoyable day already. Kind of a weird one with a matinee game on a Friday, big nationally televised game against the Bruins. Should be great. Eat some leftovers, make yourself a turkey and cranberry sandwich, watch the Rangers and Bruins. I'm going to try not touching on it because it's going to be going on probably close to around when a lot of you will wind up watching this. So I'll jump ahead. We'll talk about the big game against the Lightning on Saturday. Hey, everybody, I'm Todd Werwa, your host for Rangers Daily. Thanks for joining me here on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please ring the bell so you know when we post each new episode. Please leave a thumbs up if you like the content. And as always, leave your thoughts, questions, anything you want to put in the comments. I appreciate, I read, I look at, and I'm glad we have a fun give and take relationship as Ranger fans as we go through the 100th year of Rangers hockey. Let's start off with the Lightning game. Saturday, 2 p.m. at Madison Square Garden. Should be an interesting one. The Lightning are on a roll. Now, again, this is leading into Friday. They play in Detroit on Friday, so we're not going to talk about any of those stats. So everything's preceding that. They're 14-7-2, first in the Atlantic, 6-2-2 on the road. They're 8-2-0 in their last 10 games. They're really on a hot streak. Much different than when we faced them earlier in the year. They've won 5 in a row. They beat Calgary on Wednesday 5-1. The Lightning scored twice in the first minute and 26. Very quick strike offense. I think in the first 5:45 they'd scored 3 goals. Hagel has a goal in 3 straight. He's now got 9 points with 5 goals in those 3 games. Kucherov had a goal and an assist. He's on a roll, 13 points with 4 goals on a 7-game point streak. Like I said, they are playing a noon Eastern time start in Detroit. So 2 interesting games that the teams will be coming off of. Rangers matinee in Boston and Lightning matinee in Detroit as they meet on the back end of a back-to-back on Saturday. The 2 teams, obviously, they played once already. It was November 12th. The Rangers won 7-3. Panarin had a magical game, had 4 assists. Trocheck and Cooley scored twice. Miller, Lafreniere, and Borgen also scored. Shesty made 33 saves. Andrei Vasilevsky was pulled. But I think the biggest nugget from that game was, you remember the hit Carson Soucy laid on Brandon Hagel that knocked him out of the game. Don't know if there'll be any residuals from that. Obviously, it didn't really impact Hagel all that much. He's been phenomenal. But that game, I think they were without 7 regulars, including they had no Hedman, no McDonough, no Cirelli, and no Nick Paul. Clearly a depleted Lightning squad at the time. I think it was the Rangers' 5th straight road win. We'll see what the 2 teams have in store as they meet at the Garden. Rangers hoping to win again on Garden ice. Some nuggets of how the Lightning have been playing and where their strengths are from Sportlogic, how they become such a top team. I'll read a few of these things to you. You'll probably see a little bit of a trend. Even strength passes to the slot. They're second in the NHL at 14.7 a game. Even strength attempts from the slot. They're 5th in the NHL with 22.4. Even strength odd man rushes. They're 3rd with 6.13. Even strength shot attempts from the slot off the rush. They're 2nd in the league at 8.37. So you can see they really get to the dangerous parts of the ice. Obviously, Gensel gets in there. Kucherov can dance around and find, Hagel gets in there too. Kucherov can find anybody in that area. And also, even strength shot attempts against from the slot off the cycle. So we know how the Rangers try and get zone time and cycle the puck. Well, in allowing the fewest, the Lightning are first at only 5.44. So net front, Mike Sullivan's always talking about net front. Should be an interesting game as the Rangers try to gain a foothold in the net front. Don't know who the goalies will be yet. I'm sure it'll probably come out on Friday, if not Saturday at morning skate. But we'll see. Will Dylan Garand see his first action of the year? Jonas Johansson, I believe, came in when Vasi was pulled. I don't know what we'll see in terms of goaltenders, but Rangers, like we've said, facing a tough stretch, starting with Carolina, 7 games in 12 days against some really, really good teams. Obviously, they pulled out a win in Carolina. They ignored what the shot counter was saying, and they stuck to their game of make the most of your chances as don't take risks and let Shesty bail you out. We'll see what happens in Boston and whether the Rangers have momentum coming in to the game against the Lightning. So that's Saturday's game. Should be a fun one. Rangers made a couple of moves leading into Friday's game. Scott Morrow got called back up. Remember, he got sent down, but he couldn't be immediately called back up because of a sort of CBA thing where he has to be available for the AHL team for a game. So they called up Connor Mackey. Well, now they've brought Morrow back up. Connor Mackey sent back down. He did not see the ice, but he did take warm-ups. But he did not see the ice. I'm sure you've heard Juuso Parssinen cleared waivers, so he'll be in Hartford. I know that's not a today or yesterday thing, but wanted to make sure you all were aware. Maybe one of the more interesting things that came out of the Carolina game was Connor Sherry got benched, or scratched, not benched, got scratched. First time he's gotten scratched all year. He's played in 24 of the 25 games. We talk about, and I guess we joke about, but maybe it's not, about the familial ties with him and Mike Sullivan. He came to the Rangers on a PTO, won the spot out of camp, and they put him in as a trusted veteran, but he just doesn't do much, right? He used to have a colleague who just called him called not necessarily him, but guys like him, Jags, just a guy. And the Rangers have a lot of just a guys, and Sheary hasn't done much. He had 0 goals, 5 assists. He has no points in his last 9 games and only 1 point and assist in his last 12. I think he's the one that people were looking at of, all right, what is this guy really adding to the team? You can't have one of the young guys up and take a spot. So I don't know anything. I'm not speaking from any inside, but when I saw that he was scratched and how they got rid of Parssinen, put him on waivers, who knows if Sheary is next, but maybe, just maybe, they can get more kids up and get a little more youthful energy, I guess is the right word. We'll use Mike Sullivan's word of juice on the team. Now, we have seen Gabe Perreault get a little outmatched after his first game. He played 3 games, and in the back 2, he didn't look truly NHL ready, but maybe you got to learn at this point, seeing what the youth of Berard and Noah Laba, and maybe we could use Gabe back. We did. I think we performed rather well with Gabe in those games with Gabe in the lineup. So who knows? Maybe it's something to come. Maybe it's just a 1-game blip in the rotation of players and liking Radish more in the 4th line spot. Don't know, but it made me cheer. Like, yay, of all the people, at least Connor Sheary, they showed Mike Sullivan's willing to scratch him and realize what he's not providing with the team. Hopefully he'll pick it up and start delivering some offense, but he hasn't shown it yet. Since we've got this weird, we launch it at 11 in the morning and the game is coming up in a couple hours against Boston, figured I'd delve off the sort of Rangers beat and, worst case scenario and they don't make the playoffs. Take a look at some of the draft prognosticators talking about who might go number one, who might, be 1, 2, 3, how it goes. It's kind of coming down to Gavin McKenna and Keaton Verhoff. McKenna plays at Penn State. He's a freshman, left wing, 5'11", 170 pounds. Played in the WHL last year, had 41 goals, 129 points in 56 games. Oh, is that all? It's pretty good. He was with Medicine Hat. He won the Player of the Year in the CHL and the WHL. So far, he's had an adjustment coming into NCAA hockey. Craig Button, who I trust and like at TSN, still has him as his number one prospect, says he's a cut above the rest. Sam Cosentino in his November rankings for Sportsnet actually had Verhoff as number one and said there's a couple of things with McKenna. One, does he actually project as a center? And that would obviously change his value as a number one pick versus being a left wing. He also said his off the puck play and his defensive awareness, kind of if he doesn't have the puck in the zone, what is he doing? And what is he doing in terms of playing a 200-foot game? There started to be some questions about it. He's played 16 games, has 4 goals, 14 assists for 18 points. There's no doubting he has offensive skills. He has a good hockey IQ. He's extremely creative. He can beat you and he can set up his teammates in that zone. But I guess the thought process for Cosentino is, what can he do when he doesn't have the puck? What's he doing? Not necessarily what can he do, but what is he doing now? How is he showing that he's not just an on-puck great player? Keaton Verhoff is a right shot defenseman at North Dakota. He's 6'4", 208. Pretty good size. Probably will bulk up right to the 215, 220 or so by the time he would make the NHL. Cosentino had him number one in his November rankings. He controls play. He's great two-way. He's fantastic offensive defenseman, fantastic defensive defenseman. He's already playing 20 minutes a night with, he's been extremely effective. Played 12 games, 4-4 and 8 for the season so far. They actually play Friday and Saturday against Bemidji State, Penn State, McKenna's team. They're done until January 3rd. Now, I don't know if it's a Big Ten thing. I don't know if it's, a stoppage for finals and then World Junior Championships. But they don't play again until they play RIT on January 3rd. So interesting just to see. Cosentino's the only one that I've really seen replace McKenna at the top. McKenna's been number one. McKenna was number one in Cosentino's October rankings. So just thought I'd bring it to your attention, something to follow, as we look ahead and start thinking prospects. And we're heading into December. It's right around the corner. And of course, at the end of December is the World Junior Championship, which is just a wonderful, fun tournament and showcases a lot of the pre-draft prospects. There are some that have already been, but it showcases so many good pre-draft players that really can make their name and move up the draft board. One of the other players in the mix is Sweden's Ivar Stenberg. He plays for Frölunda in the Swedish Hockey League. Button may have even had him second, I believe, in his latest rankings. You've heard of Frölunda, tremendous lineage, tremendous history. Hank played there. Daniel Alfredson, Eric Carlson, Lucas Raymond, Rasmus Dahlin, among many others. It's a fantastic team in the Swedish Hockey League. Stenberg is 18 years old. He's already playing with the men. He's 5'11", 183, so he's a little bit bigger. He's played than McKenna in terms of weight. Will he grow? Will he get to be 6 feet, 6'1"? We'll see. He's played 22 games, has 5 goals and 16 assists for 21 points. He could sneak in there as number one. He's already had lots of exposure for Sweden on some international stages for them, winning bronze at maybe I think the Halinka, and he's won a couple of silvers as well. So those three are probably vying for the top three. There are a few other defensemen in there, but really I've seen McKenna and Veerhoff and Stenberg in the mix. We'll see what some of these evaluators like Jason Bukala or Cosentino and Craig Button and Elite Prospects. We'll see who they have come December, and then track it through the World Juniors. So I thought I'd just give you a little touch of what's going on around some of the pre-draft decision makers, what some of the top prospects are doing. Obviously, we don't know where the Rangers will pick. Hopefully it will not be in the lottery, or maybe some of you hope that they do get a lottery pick and refill some of their coffers with a top pick and get a real good top prospect. Either way, the draft is always fun. I do enjoy it. But enjoy today's game. Enjoy Saturday's game against the Lightning. Should be fun. Please keep it tuned right here on YouTube for Rangers Daily. New episodes Monday through Friday. Please subscribe. Please tell your hockey-loving friends to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Leave your comments. Leave your thoughts. Maybe in the comments, leave what you were most thankful for on this Thanksgiving. It's one of the most wonderful holidays of the year. Makes us stop and think what we really appreciate, and in all honesty, how lucky we all are to get to enjoy the things that we love and be around the people that we love. So until next time, I appreciate your viewership. Thanks for watching.